स्वभावामर्त्यस्य यदन्ततैतत् सर्वेन्द्रियाणां सरयन्ति तेज अपि सर्वं जीवितमल्पमेव तवैव वास्तव नृत्यगीते।
हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। गणानाहं त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपस्रवत्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतः नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्तीरसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावकैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Pranams and namaskars to the subscribers of this series of lectures on Kathopanishad. We have seen up to Chapter 1, Valli 1 and up to 25th Mantra. And today we are going to see the 26th Mantra, its transliteration in English, and then gist of the Mantra, and then thereafter a bit more detail according to the time being permitted. So let me first recite the Mantra in Sanskrit. Svobhavaha madhyasya यदन्तक्कैतत् सर्वेन्द्रियाणां जरयन्ति तेजः अपि सर्वं जीवित अल्पमेव तदैव वाहास्तवः नृत्यगीते. Now, in English, O Mrityu, the offers that were made are ephemeral with short span. Decaying is the vitality of senses, a lifespan. So is the lastingness of mortals' lifespan. May you retain the amusements that befits your clan. Now let us see the gist of the mantra. Nachiketa starts addressing Yama as this. Hey Mrityu, the terminator, the Antaka of the life of a human. Here, Antaka as addressable denotes that Yama is assigned with the duties of terminating human's life. Antakan means the blind, but here the Antaka means the one who ends the life. And Antakan means the terminator also. All that you proposed are impermanent and anityas, and they are all short-lived and not guaranteed and warranted for an existence for the next day. These impermanencies are the source of tendencies to degrade and erode the potency of indriyas, the senses and the sense organs. Also, that the life of all jivas on the earth are also subject to immortality, ephemeral and transient. You may therefore choose to retain all your offerings that include the vehicles, that is rathas, music and dancing troupe, the apsaras group, etc., etc. That way, Nachiketa disowns everything. Now let us go into the explanation part of it as far as possible. Nachiketa addresses Yama as the Antaka, and Antaka refers to a terminator of life. Nachiketa, a Vedic literate, has known well that Yama's role as Antaka, a terminator, is also subject to termination. So he is also subject to death. His role as Mrityu is an assignment and is well within the bounds of the nature's control, which again is subject to termination. Therefore, Nachiketa is seen to be very sure that all that is offered is subject to erosion and destruction. He knew it well that offers were tied up to a temporariness and that all has an inherent element of impermanence. Having well understood the intentions of Mrityu and that his promises are only evasive and to discourage him from the Upadesham of Atmavidya, Nachiketas proceeds further with his demands again and again with Yama. Swabhava Martyasya Yadhantakayitat. The mantra starts with this Vakya. It raises a question about the stability and sustenance of the one that is seen on this day. World, the mass of mud and rock itself is still not settled. It shuffles its structure by earthquakes, landslides and floods. The process of its multi-tier plates are always in the process of seeking settlement. It may seem occasionally, but it brings in all unimaginable disastrous results to the normal habitation of humans and other beings on the earth. All these are the elements of temporariness and not the stable and steady settled state of affairs. Dharma takes care of itself. It gets settled itself. When the population level and its density exceeds a limit, the earth, the Bhudevi, takes care of herself in dispelling with all these exceeding conditions. When I am on this project of this text, we see in Kerala, the southwestern peninsular portion is greatly suffering from nature's violent behavior. It had swallowed thousands of lives, both human and others. All this exhibits the permanence of impermanence only. Impermanent is only the permanent one. So, Matyasya, the pada refers to the human race and that it means only the subjectivity to death. The birth keeps ever warning of death alone. Sasrava Indriyana Jarayanti Teja. All the organs and the senses are ever experiencing erosion in its sensitivity and accuracy. A gramophone record played upon prolonged usage gets distorted, and the voice too, when heard, is seen getting distorted. Prolonged usage of sense get tapered in its capacity to absorb. The vision and the sight depletes. The hearing gets less audible and at times getting totally deaf and so on. This is Jaraya, this erosion and changes in degraded quality of its functions. The senses and the sense organs get weakened in its prolonged usages. Human life is estimated to be 100 human years, and it is again a relative aspect, and it is not a span that one could take up a spiritual mission and get himself liberated. He has to take up births after the births as human only to strive for moksha, because humans only are endowed with this boon. They have the sixth sense that can be used at their will and reach Pitraloka or Sargaloka or Devaloka or Brahmaloka or even Satyaloka. 100 years even when fully lived on is only a swalpa or very meager a span that one can fetch all the stated above. Therefore, where is the time to enjoy and endure all these bhogas, the pleasures, is the question Nachiketas is raising always. He turns very fast positive in rejecting all that is generously and liberally given by Mrityu Bhagavan in lieu of his third request. He categorically rejects and sticks on to his original demand of Atmavidya alone. Even sannyasis who are attracted by these bhoga vastus, are unable to retrieve themselves. Such is the sensitivity of the spiritual passage. Vairagya Satakam says, Boha, not Bhokta, Vayameva Bhukta. The enjoyment, in fact, enjoys us, and not that we enjoy the Boha. The Vishayas are the objects that enthuses and confers enjoyment to one is again ever changing. This day, one may focus his liking on one particular object, and the next day it loses the character and goes for a change. A product purchased and had for the enjoyment goes redundant in a short span of time. While all these temporariness are all well elucidated, how can Nachiketas get access to Yama's lucrative offers? He stands fast anchored to his demands, and let us proceed further with what happens in the next mantra. So he is very steadfast. He is a very literate person. He has a vairagya. He has a goal. in life. Of course, he is not only fighting for his own goal, it is for the benefit of the entire society. You and I are able to understand what is the aspect of Atma Tattva, and that too through the proper Guru. Here the Yama is the Guru, and he waits for Yama's Siksha, and he is very adamant and obstinate about getting it at any cost. He doesn't give up his principle, and therefore he is steadfast. Let us see rest of the things in the next mantra. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sagavirjam Karavavakai Tejasvinavati Samatma Vidvishabhakai. Om